Toastmaster, officers, members, and guests. My speech tonight is Drive It Home. I'm excited to be here. You're in for some amazing things to happen right now. Turn to your neighbor and say, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
My wife and I discovered something a few years ago, about 5 years ago. It was a way to increase your knowledge, enhance your life and your relationship without changing your schedule. Does that sound pretty amazing? Mm-hmm. I can see the question on your face. How do you do that? Well, what I want you to think about, where is it that you are that you could gain maximum benefit without changing your schedule? It's in your drive time. Let's maximize your drive time. Now, we all see many drivers on the road in the morning. We see people doing their hair, putting on their makeup, drinking coffee, eating breakfast with a plate and a fork, which is pretty dangerous. You see people on the telephone talking. Then you see the youngsters texting, Facebooking, Twittering. Pretty dangerous situation. Hope you're not involved in any of that. Now, how long are you in your car every morning? Some 15 minutes, half an hour, some an hour or even more, right? So if you multiply that times 2, you got to go to work and you got to come back home. How can I use this time to be most beneficial? If I turn on the radio, they choose the topic for me, right? And usually, even if you are on somewhat of a news channel, they can only go in depth just a little bit, all right? They choose the songs they want you to hear, but what if you could pick a topic and get really into it? And you did this every day. Your average college course that gives you 3 credits is 45 to 48 hours in a semester. How long would it take if you had a half an hour commute home and a half an hour commute to work to receive as much instruction as you would in a college course? One of the things I really like that Matt mentioned is that he uses Audible. That is what it is. Audible, books that they read to you. You don't have to add any time to your day. You don't have to push aside anything. The only thing you get to do is to forget about the work, don't anticipate the problems when I get home, and just enjoy this time. There are many different books on any topic, any subject: education, motivation, your favorite hobbies, anything you can think of. You can have someone giving you this information on the way to work, on the way home. One of the things I like about my job is that I get to ride around a lot. So I'm in my car anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day. This can be very inspirational and educational for me, and it is. I love listening to books. And my favorite books I listen to over and over again because I notice that the first time there's something I missed. The second time, there was even more. And the third time, it's like, did they even say that the first time? So it's really an education in how well we listen. Because when you listen to somebody, you rarely retain 20% of what's said. Mm-hmm. And so this gift of Audible that you can give yourself, listening to it over and over again, you can really saturate your mind with this kind of information. People wonder, how much does it cost? Yes, there's a cost involved. $15 a month. But you get the first one free. That's how they get you in. And anybody interested in getting the first one free, see me after class. I have a list of books that I have on Audible. And all I have to do is just email it to you. You don't even have to put your credit card in. All you got to do is just tell me which book it is, and I'll hit share. It will show up on your phone or your computer, and you can listen to that book.
Wow.
It's a wonderful thing. But if you like it, you might want to invest in it.
Mm-hmm.
$15 a month, 12 months out the year, it's really not bad because you get one book per month. My wife and I, like I said, we've been doing this for 5 years now. We counted them last night, 72 books that we've listened to. Everything from biographies, historical, motivational, mindfulness, meditation, many different subjects. She was going on a trip to South Africa, and so we got the biography of Nelson Mandela. So when she was there on the Nelson Mandela tour, it was much more meaningful. So whatever you're doing, your hobbies, your passion, you can get more and more information which will cause you to enjoy it much, much more. I honestly love listening to certain books. One of my favorites is The Fifth Agreement. Anybody ever heard of the Four Agreements and The Fifth Agreement? My favorite books in the world. Actually has revolutionized my thinking. When you understand, as The Fifth Agreement says, you are the artist of your life. Many people complain, and one thing I learned about complaining, which I heard in another book, which is The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, that most people complain to somebody that can't do nothing about it. But when you realize that you are 100% responsible for your life, you can begin, anything you don't like, you have the ability to change that. And just in that drive home, you can begin to change the way you think. If you change the way you think, you will change the way you act. And when you change the way you act, you will change your results in the world. I love Audible books. I think it's a fantastic thing. I recommend it to all of my friends. I actually got in trouble at work one day for recommending books. But I'd rather be in trouble for recommending books than some of the other things people get in trouble for. One of my favorite, or has come to be one of my favorite sayings that I recently learned was a quote by Ben Franklin. He says, take the coins out of your pocket, invest it in your mind, it will fill your pockets to overflowing.
Oh.
Because what separates you from today and your future is the information you introduce. If you enter today with no more information than you had entered yesterday, you don't have a future. You have a longer today. It's like the shampoo, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But if I add more information, I have a greater possibility of having a different outcome. And at this point, I will take questions. That's my time. If anybody have any questions about Audibles or have any books they might want, I'll be passing out a list as soon as it's over.
I love Audible books, but I then want to go and look at the book or gather information from the book. Do you do that as well?
I have it in several different forms. I will have it on Audible, sometimes I'll have it electronically, and I will have it in hard copy because yes, you do like to highlight and turn to certain pages. Absolutely.
I agree with one of your points which you mentioned that you more and more you listen to the book again and again, you get to rediscover a few things which you did not listen last night. That really helps. The other thing I wanted to share with everybody is that if anybody is interested to join Audible as a new subscriber, I have a promo code which gives you 3 months of free subscription. So
Excellent.
Nice.
Okay, one more question? One more? All right. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it.